President, we have a national emergency.
This is one of the things that we can shoot first and ask questions later. Normally you can't do that.
All of a sudden these trees started moving out of the way. They parted for me. And then I came out into this opening, and there where I saw Jesus Christ.
Back in 1927, an American socialist, Norman Thomas, 6 times candidate for president on the Socialist Party ticket, said the American people would never vote for socialism. But he said under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program. He is more imminent.
James Madison, in 1788, speaking to the Virginia Convention, said, "Since the general civilization of mankind, I believe there are more instances of the abridgment of the freedom of the people by gradual and silent encroachment of those in power than by violent and sudden usurpations."
When men were free.
Broadcasting live from a secret location buried deep below the earth, you're about to make a connection to the signs of the times. W. Dean Shook is live on the air right now.
And welcome into End Time News. I am your host, W. Dean Shook. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you so very much. Let me give a special thanks to our regular broadcast stations that broadcast this update. Thank you to everyone on the iHeartRadio Network, the Blog Talk Radio Network, the Spreaker Radio Network, all of you listeners through iTunes, and everyone who downloads this as a podcast. You have made the show a success, and I want to give you a heartfelt thank you. You are the heart and soul of this program. On today's program, I've got some headlines that are a little heavy, so I want to start with something a little light before we get into the heavy stuff. This, according to Breitbart News, Winnie the Pooh, that's right, I said Winnie the Pooh, has been banned from a playground for being a hermaphrodite. Beloved childhood cartoon character Winnie the Pooh has reportedly been banned from a playground in Poland due to his dubious sexuality. The fictional teddy bear was in the running to become the public face of a children's park in the small town of Tuzin, but after city council members raised concern over his sexuality and scantily clad body. According to the Croatian Times, the meeting was recorded by a council member, then leaked to the local press. A. Milne, author of the classic Winnie the Pooh tales, was also criticized during this meeting. An unidentified member of the council said, "It doesn't wear underpants because it doesn't have a sex. This is very disturbing." He said the author was over 60 and cut Pooh's testicles off with a razor blade because he had a problem with his identity. Another counselor then labeled Pooh as a hermaphrodite, while Rizard Sinchi concluded the problem with the bear is he doesn't have a complete wardrobe. It's half naked, which is inappropriate for children. He said this before suggesting a Polish teddy bear instead that's dressed from head to toe, unlike Pooh, who's only dressed from the waist up. Well, we'll probably see Winnie the Pooh as a spokesbearer for gender identity people everywhere, and I'm sure that's coming soon. And let me add this. After I posted this story on the webpage at wdeanshook.com, I got an email from someone who said they were sending me a bottle of shampoo because they couldn't figure out how to get real poo in the bottle. And we'll leave that one at that. So let's get into the meat of the news today. Here's an exclusive from the UK, reported by The Express. An Al-Qaeda plot to blow up 5 passenger planes on a Christmas spectacular. The threat has been taken so seriously it came close to leading to an outright ban on all handheld luggage, one senior insider revealed. Mobile phones, electronic devices, could still be banned from plane cabins with the threat of a 9/11-style coordinated attack on London and other major cities feared imminent. The warning comes as Whitehall officials admit that a terror strike is now almost inevitable, particularly with British jihadists returning from fighting alongside the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. An airport security source told the Sunday Express, "We've been told that the 5 planes are being targeted in a high-profile hit before Christmas. They've been waiting for the big one." They went on to say, "We have many scares, but this one nearly got hand baggage pulled from all airlines. The threat is still alive and still real." The plot, which has been known about for the past 2 months, is thought to involve Islamists smuggling bombs onto the plane bound for major European destinations before Christmas. The well-placed security insider said talks have been held on how to deal with it, with suggestions made to ban handheld luggage. The source said high-level negotiations are continuing at governmental level, but at the moment there's been little done to respond. The paralysis because of the difficulty of banning hand luggage, which is one of the strongest weapons we have against the new threat, he says. They went on to say, "Everyone is expecting something catastrophic very soon." You'll find that full story on the webpage. And this related story, this from London's NDTV, Islamic State may possess nuclear material stolen from Iraq. Islamic State terror groups may have developed a nuclear device by using radioactive uranium stolen from Iraq's Mosul University after seizing control of the city last June. This, according to a British media report, and the Mirror newspaper reported that militants boasted of the device on a social media site, with one even commenting on the destruction such a bomb would wreak in London, 4 months after the chemicals went missing from this Mosul University. One of the extremists making online threats to the West is British explosives expert Hamyan Taik, who fled his home in the UK for the Middle East in 2012. Using the alias Muslim al-Brittani, he tweeted, "Oh, by the way, Islamic State does have a dirty bomb. We found some radioactive material from Mosul University." He wrote, "We'll find out what dirty bombs are and what they do. We'll also discuss what might happen if one actually went off in a public area." A dirty bomb is a radiological weapon that combines radioactive material with conventional explosives. It's claimed the device includes uranium from a stash of 40 kilograms looted by the Islamic State. Iraq's UN ambassador informed UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon on the theft in a letter on July 8th. He wrote, "The terrorist group have seized control of nuclear material at the sites that came out of the control of the state." And that may very well make a good case of why you don't let the jihadists back in the country after they go to fight with ISIS.
We are living in unprecedented times. Constant wars worldwide. Nation against nation. Kingdom against kingdom. They're genetically modifying our food. Increased violence as the heart of man grows cold. Ever-increasingly tyrannical governments around the world. Stay connected. End Time Prophecy News with W. Dean Shook, your connection to the signs of the times.
GoDaddy offers everything you need to make a name for yourself on the web, from domain names and website builders to complete e-commerce solutions. We've earned our place as the world's #1 accredited domain registrar by delivering world-class products at competitive prices and support them with industry-best services delivered 24/7, 365. We're proud to serve our customers from locations around the world. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com and get your domain name as low as $5.99 a year. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com. Go, Daddy. Go, Daddy.
When you download the iHeartRadio app and put the W. Dean Shook Show on your list of stations, you will prove to the world that you're a little bit smarter than everyone else. The W. Dean Shook Show, your connection to the signs of the times.
And I have another one from Crisis Magazine. Obamacare architect says abortion is a social good. Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, would love this story. Over the last 3 weeks, MIT professor and Affordable Care Act architect Jonathan Gruber has gone from being an academic, mostly known for his policy circles, to the face of political dishonesty and manipulation. Gruber, who helped create and sell the ACA to the American people, has been caught on tape admitting on multiple occasions that the law was written to mislead the public, but that's not all he's done. As originally reported by Jerome Corsi, Gruber is the author of the last two separate reports arguing that legalized abortion has tremendous social benefits. His work also provided some of the foundation for the 2005 book Freakonomics, which promoted the idea of abortion as a means of improving society's children. The data implies that legalization of abortion saved the government over $14 billion in welfare expenditures through 1994. A 2009 version of the paper, also co-authored by Gruber, concluded that marginal children saw improved lives, including an increased likelihood of a college education, lower rates of welfare use, and lower odds of being a single parent. Gruber's work wasn't just seen as academics. The 2005 book Freakonomics, co-authored by another supporter of abortion as social good Stephen Levitt, took its abortion section from Levitt's 2001 paper, The Impact of Abortion on Crime, which argued that legalized abortion was responsible for a lower crime rate in the 1990s, and Gruber's work greatly influenced that paper. Margaret Sanger's vision lives on. And here's a story from WND, a license to kill. That's right, Pakistan's blasphemy laws. The chief of a Christian organization in Pakistan is warning that the nation's blasphemy laws essentially are a license to kill Christians. The comments came from the president of the Pakistani Christian Congress in a report from the Gatestone Institute, who was looking at the fallout from the recently tortured deaths of two Christians accused but never convicted of burning a page from the Quran. The case, the deaths of Shaman Bibi, 24, and her husband, has generated a firestorm of backlash against Pakistan's tolerance for violence against those even suspected of blasphemy, which protects Islam but not other faiths. A spokesman for the family of two victims, their unborn child was also killed, said they were accused of blasphemy and hid, but the mobs of Muslims found them, tore apart their room where they had taken refuge, and more. The mob beat them and broke their legs so they wouldn't be able to flee. The Gatestone report said they were then held over an open kiln until the clothes caught fire. They picked them up by their arms and legs and held them over the brick kiln until the clothes caught fire. Then they threw them inside the furnace. According to a spokesman for the family, they said the report said that someone had accused them of burning this page out of the Quran. Well, the accuser went to the neighboring villages in the Kashur district and incited the Muslims against her and her husband. The report said ultimately 1,000 to 2,000 people from 5 nearby villages gathered. Now there are blasphemy cases registered in more than a dozen police stations. Bahati said the Gatestone report, while the courts have ordered the arrest of one Muslim media station boss and another Muslim artist from a TV channel, they are enjoying a police escort. They're attending meetings and no one dares to arrest them. But one false allegation of blasphemy, and the police put Christians behind bars, and courts award them death sentences. The practice indicates that blasphemy laws are only litigated to target religious minorities in Pakistan. He added that in Pakistan, blasphemy laws are a license to kill Christians at the hands of Muslims. You can also find that story at wdeanshook.com. And let's get a report on taxes here in the U.S. Or is it just here in the U.S.? This is being reported by Armstrong Economics, who says, for the USA, it's time to turn off the lights. They say we have a very serious problem with taxation. Only the United States and Japan regard its citizens as state property. Taxes are normally owed and based on the concept that you're paying your fair share, predicted on use. But the United States views it simply owns everyone born in the United States or overseas.